We live, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Morning,
sir.
morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another
Another
episode,
one.
a podcast, a family talk. Let's discuss it, man. It's slim and reaping today. Our boys ain't getting up like they supposed to be getting up.
We gonna
It's
get on.
all it's always us being early, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll get them
It's
on
not,
here.
but we're gonna make it okay.
Yo, it'll make it okay. But
It is not. That's that real talk right there. He ain't gonna
That's,
sugarcoat it. It's
ain't gonna
not.
No,
sugarcoat
it ain't
it.
okay.
It ain't okay, but it's your boy B, man.
Coach A.
Got your boy Nick.
Nick. Yeah, man, we got a slay of stuff that we are gonna be discussing today, with our main topic being sexual harassment in the workplace, man. But we got some other stuff we're gonna dive into first before we get into that deep talk. Like let some few people come in and get comfortable, man, and we can get really rolling. But I know Coach A got some special stuff here for us, man. So what you got right now for us, Coach?
Oh,
So
you just
good
gonna skip the
question.
intro.
Intro. We gotta hit the intro first.
Oh yeah.
We'll be
With,
back.
Hey, wow, I'm tripping.
hey, I'm doing my news like this. Cool. This would be the cool news with Coach A.
That's what's up. Hey, we'll be back.
Tell 'em I ain't mad, they ain't no. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody ever take this moment from me. So nigga, while I got it, the fuck it, it's all good. It's all good. Straight up, it's all
Jimmy, do you
good.
not know that dumping the ball off to your big man gets him and motivates him?
Tell 'em I ain't mad if they ain't no. You know I ain't mad if you love it. Can't nobody ever take this moment from me.
I don't want no smoke over there. I heard her tell somebody out in traffic. I don't want no
For
problems
real.
with that.
For real. I'm like, no part
I don't
of
want
that.
no problems with that.
We are
Come in
back.
with the cheers. Yes, sir. So listen, we're gonna do our cool news section from Coach A. That's why I got the glasses, because we're gonna be cool when we do the news section. So until we get everybody in, we're gonna go ahead and kill some time. So I know everybody been seeing this. First of all, let's start off with this important announcement. Did you get the Nick? Did you get the Amber Alert?
Yeah, this morning.
Yeah, let me put that picture up. We got an Amber Alert for this guy right here. Anybody that's in our area, Florida or anywhere, if you ever see this guy, um, kid's names is Zanea and look like Zane Obidi. And this guy name, I don't see where his name is, Max. So if you happen to see this guy in the area, go ahead and report. They got a number for you, one
Report
eight
'em.
eight eight FL missing. Right? It even has his license plate number down. Let me look at the thing that they got. Let me take this down real quick. I don't know, an accident.
Well, we counted down.
Yeah, I know.
We counted down.
So it says this guy is in Deerfield Beach. Y'all know where that's at?
Nah.
No, I don't think I
Heard of
don't
either.
know. No.
Deerfield Beach. He's driving a 2011 black BMW 535 series. So, and he got a full beard with no mustache. You knew you can't trust nobody with no mustache anyway. Driving a freaking old
So
BMW.
y'all ever think about why these people be abducting children?
No.
Honestly, it's always two sides. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I
Three
don't.
sides.
Yes, exactly.
It's
Right,
suicide.
right. And then the truth. So
Yeah.
we really don't know. So, but anyhow, he got a black BMW. Florida tag is PJH1B, or if those of you want to know, it's Punk, Joker, Ho, One, and Bastard.
Wow. Wow.
They tell you if you see this guy, not to approach him. But I say you get a bunch of cats, get a bunch of niggas, and y'all just roll up on him and tell him to run the kids. It's just simple as that.
Coach, you don't seem too positive this morning.
No, that's the kidnapping.
Hey Nick,
That's
it's the
kidnapping.
It's the glasses. It's
Yeah.
the shades.
I get to hide behind the cool news. So right. So if you see this guy, and put a picture up again right here. If you see this guy, you know what I'm saying. Get you a bunch of guys and run up on him, telling him he need to release the kid. Call the police first. But then you get you a group of guys and y'all run up on him and ask him where them kids are.
Man, don't get shot trying to get this dude now.
Yeah, you don't put yourself in harm's way. So anybody been checking out? What's up, Jody?
What's happening? So who is this guy we rolling up on?
Amber Alert. I put the Amber Alert. We're in our cool. This is our cool news section. Until we get a bunch, all of our followers in, we just gonna do some topics that's going around. What's up, Telly? So this is our cool news section. I just put up
Telly, fresh out of sleep.
I think everybody had one of those type of mornings today.
Yeah. So listen,
I got COVID. That's why.
Oh man.
Gosh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the chronicles of you going through COVID, man.
Man,
So listen, everybody been seeing these crate challenges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here I got a little compilation that we could check out.
They calling it the Hood Olympics.
See,
Now he knew damn well he wasn't gonna get it. First, he started wobbling at the top.
But he got the top, Joe. He at the top. He halfway there.
He need to jump off when he start doing all that movement. He need to jump off. He need to start. Look at him. See, that is crazy. Now these two idiots right here.
She looked like she threw her down. Like you was talking to my man last year, wasn't you?
She did a split coming on.
And he came up there with way too much confidence.
Yeah.
With the Timbs on.
Like when it get to shaking, you need to jump off. Just jump off.
Ooh.
These two idiots too.
But the dude actually on the right hand side, he did it first, and he walked up, rolled the blunt when he got to the top.
Oh,
and then he walked down and lit it up on the last crate.
Hey, look at the comment. One of the comments said they look like a cake, like two dudes on top of a cake. You already know where this is.
This is ridiculous. You got to stop at this point. Y'all up there hugging.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, when that thing start to wiggling like that, it's about that time to just jump off. Get out of there.
Oh yeah, that's done. Ain't no win. That's just out of there.
For real.
So it's crazy, man. All these crate challenges and people doing all this crazy stuff. Here go another one right here. Let me go ahead and keep it going.
Right.
It would be killing me. People be trying to run down as they falling.
Because that'd be the best way to do it sometimes.
To run down, hurry up and get off.
Let's just run down so I can get on the ground. But nah, we falling on the ground. That's that. Ladies and gentlemen, who's ever watching this, don't do the crate challenge.
Hey, we got to do a crate challenge.
You let the people do whatever they want to do.
We got to do it. We got to do it for Jody, man.
Now, if you do it, please record it so we can put it up
I'm
here.
about to say, if you do it, bring it to Family Talk so we can just play it.
Hey, I got you. How much you want? 200 for it?
I
Make a quick 200.
Man, where they getting all these crates from?
They on sale now.
They going in the back of Winn-Dixie and taking milk out of them and pulling them to their house. To the back of Walmart and all the places that sell gallons of milk, because them crates come in gallons of milk in it. So that's what they do. That's what they.
Yeah.
That's what they.
So look, I got another one right here. Look.
Yeah, she did her thing.
Yeah, old girl did her thing.
So notice her low center of gravity. Her legs didn't stretch up all the way at no point in time. Very smart.
See, she got the Meg Stallion knees though.
Everything always gotta go to a city girl or a Meg the Stallion or something with Jody.
Jesus.
That's Jody, huh? So listen, I got one more thing, man. I know y'all been. I know I. Because I sent y'all the link of all this freaking stuff that's going on in Afghanistan,
Yeah, man.
Man,
right?
that stuff crazy.
Yeah. So the craziest thing I saw is in the middle of a war they taking over. The troops. This is how good the troops had it. Like really, like you can't do that. You can't do this here. Like imagine somebody taking over the United States and they soldiers go to Disneyland or go to the amusement park,
They out
riding
there
around
having
them.
fun.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy, man. Eating ice
Taliban
cream.
soldiers seen enjoying rides at the amusement park in Kabul. Out there riding in bumper cars and out there eating fruit snacks and ice cream and stuff.
Look,
Hey, they
merry-go-round.
enjoying their best life.
Well, listen, that's a little kitty, right? Grown man sitting on the horses.
Exactly. Look, they can't. They don't even
Grown
know
man.
how to jump on the trampoline, man. These people that took over the capital over there in Afghanistan, they don't even know how to jump on a trampoline. Like no rhythm or nothing.
Listen,
That's wild.
this is hard to watch, Coach.
Dude, and you want to know what's the worst thing about it? For 20 years, we've been paying the soldiers over in Afghanistan. Look at that. 20 years we've been paying the soldiers ever since that 9/11. And so, which I don't disagree with that portion.
Fruit
Helping-
snacks.
I don't disagree with that portion. Helping out, trying to, helping them with their country and try to train soldiers so that they could take care of themselves and do all that. But they didn't do anything, man. They didn't do anything. As soon as the people came, they left. So I wonder if we can get our money back. If you buy something at the store and you don't get what you pay for, you get your receipt and get your money back, man.
I'm telling you, man.
We got a 20-year-old receipt.
Yeah, you
got check stubs. That's check stubs. That's what we
check
got.
stubs so that you paid taxes for the last 20 years working at your job.
For real. I love to get paid back a whole bunch of money over 20 years span.
Y'all let me know when y'all get that.
You already know
it ain't gonna happen. No,
It's
already know.
It's called a fourth stimulus check.
Yeah, we got part of it. We got
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, let me know when you get that fourth stimulus check.
Oh man. So
man.
Part of it is the guys, they just there for work. You know what I'm saying? It was just a job to them. But I wonder how much the soldiers was making. Like I wonder if they was getting paid higher than our soldiers or some of the people over here. It's just nuts, man. It's just nuts.
Hey Sam, you need to get up and get on these comments. Get on out that bed.
Don't do her like that. You sent her a text on the side.
Huh?
I said you sent her a text on the side.
No, we are very open with each other. And if I was doing something wrong, she'll do the same.
Okay, you absolutely right. Y'all are very open.
Sam, don't listen to me.
Get up.
Hey Sam, you ever need me to fly out there, just let me know.
You ain't finna do it.
Nah, you right.
You ain't finna do it.
I try and scam a little bit.
Oh, all right.
What's up, bro?
My baby not feeling good, so I'll leave her alone. She wasn't feeling good last night neither. We got it, baby. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
So that's it. That's all I have, fellas. Little something was going
on. Before we go into what we finna talk about, let's do mental health check, man. Y'all see how everybody doing?
I'm at a 9. I'm too late. I didn't beat you. I'm at. It was an awkward silence, so I jumped on it. I'm at a 9.
Why 9? You say you always a 10.
Always. The reason because man, I was been working out again, and I knew better. I knew better, but I got down there and I hit them big weights too soon, right?
Oh,
and you know how you
get into it.
Oh, nah, he ain't just trying to show out. That's what he's doing.
No, it's 4 in the morning. Ain't nobody there. 4:30 in the
4 in the
morning. It's
morning.
me
What you doing up 4 in the morning?
working out,
Nah,
man.
that's why you at a 9. You woke up too early.
No, it wasn't today. That's the thing.
Oh,
This is
okay,
like
I got you.
I'm feeling a little better today, but I can't turn my neck all the way like I supposed to.
Man, listen, I'm at a probably a 9 today. I'm moving a bit slow today, so that's why I'm at a 9. That's what took me down to a 9, just because I was moving slow when I knew I had to be up and I had to be doing my thing with the show and the podcast, whatever. So I'm at a 9. Life is awesome. Life is good. Hey, while we be doing our mental health check, people that's watching, y'all throw y'all mental health check, one to 10 in y'all in the comments as well. We don't always just want to check on us. We want to check on y'all. Make sure y'all doing well too, man. So, Jody, where you at today, man?
You know what? I'm gonna say I'm at a 10. After talking with Coach A earlier this week, you know what I'm saying? In my mind, right? I've convinced myself that I'm at a 10, so I'm gonna start acting like a 10. I am affirmating a 10 this week, so I'm gonna be at a 10 today after talking with Coach A.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be prepared for Toxic Tuesdays to be closed out because Jody finna be 10s at all times.
We're gonna have to get a substitute. We're gonna have to get a substitute, man.
Exactly. Nick, where you at, bro?
Man, I'm at a 10. I woke up this morning, so I'm good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Tell it, man. We know you're not feeling well. Now, hey, you being a real soldier by jumping on the show today.
Can't let y'all down, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate that, Telly. We know you got going on. Yeah, everybody, please pray for our brother. He going through the this COVID stuff, man. Just we pray for you and get for our well-being. But where your mental health at today? 3. Hey, I'm
excited. That's pretty low. We need to get you smiling or something.
Yeah.
I'm in pain, man.
Who we need to call to Uber him some Popeyes?
Look! Don't make her laugh. That probably hurt. So did you get tested?
She had a 10.
Tell her you got tested.
Yeah.
Oh man.
She had a 10. That's what's so. Hey, I appreciate you being on Toxic Tuesday on Tuesday. We saw you out there doing your thing. Now I like the fact you was on Toxic Tuesday and you pulled up to the barbecue this morning. I salute you.
For sure.
Right,
Speaking of Toxic Tuesday, we might have to get Coach A up there on Toxic Tuesday. Yeah.
I don't think y'all can afford Coach A.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
His agent already told me.
It's gonna be all sweet with Coach A.
Listen, it happens everywhere I go, man. People, once they get to know who I am and what I'm about, they tone it down. They do automatically. They just tone it down. I'm like, yo, I came from the hood too. I you know what I'm saying? It's good. It's everywhere I go, man. Like, oh, we can't smoke this in front of Coach A. Like,
hey, Coach, that's what I'm saying. Coach, we go.
That's a respect thing.
It is.
That's a respect thing.
That's what I'm telling you.
When it comes to Toxic Tuesday, Coach A, we ain't gonna let you slide. I was like, Coach A put a 2-week notice on a girlfriend. Okay, that's that man right there.
Dang. Now.
He said you did put a 2-week notice on a girlfriend, though, Coach.
Coach A say I let one go and had one lined up. That's a 2-week notice right there. That's a smidge toxic there, Coach A.
Life goes on. Best decision I ever made, too. Best decision I ever made. See? Once the spirit talks, you gotta listen, man. That's what I'm saying.
Man. So we're missing Jimbo today. Jimbo, we're not gonna let you slide. I know you watching.
We're gonna make Jimbo.
And I know you watching
3 weeks, right?
I know you watching because you just texted my phone probably about 7 minutes ago. So I know you watching Jimbo. And if
what
you
is
watching,
he doing?
I don't know what he's doing, but I'm finna tell Jimbo, tell him by himself right now. If you watching Jimbo, we love you.
That's not telling him by himself.
I am telling him by himself. We love you. Because
I
don't want to be disrespectful because his he's supposed to be on this show.
Oh, he finna get serious.
Hey, he gonna cancel us.
Nah. Jimmy told me he wasn't finna be here. I'm just playing. Jimmy know I'm playing. At least I hope he know I'm playing. He said he wasn't gonna be here. He got some activities that he's got going on. So we'll just leave it at that, Jimbo. We love you. That's why I said we love you. Nick made me say it.
I ain't make you say nothing.
He did.
We
Nick is an
lost one.
instigator.
Where did Jody go?
Oh no.
You know,
But let's go into it today, man. Unless anybody else got anything else. Anybody got no stories for us before we get into this topic? Anybody got anything going on? Anybody got anything exciting they want to share? And to the people that's watching, man, y'all got something exciting y'all want to share? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, somebody pregnant? Y'all got babies on the way? You know
Well,
what I'm
you
saying?
already know I got
Good
one on the
morning,
way.
T. We know Coach got one on the way. You ready for that,
You
Coach?
close.
You
Yeah.
starting?
So listen, I was thinking about this morning, man. This is good though, because you know that when it comes to marriages, there's like top three. There's a lot of issues why people split up, but some
Mm-hmm.
of the top issues are money and children are the top issues.
and
And so,
sex.
and so, well, I don't know.
No, he ain't lying. Sex too.
Yeah, I ain't read that one, but
Oh,
yeah.
you better read it.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
better
know
read
you
it.
didn't read that one, but
Like, oh girl, you ain't gonna give me none tonight. Okay. Final
Morning,
divorce.
CJ.
Final divorce. Good morning,
So why
CJ.
they don't? So why they the guy ain't giving It's automatically
It's
old
same
girl.
way, same way. Oh brother, you ain't giving us sex in bed. Okay. I
So
got you.
anyhow, going into realizing that we finna have this baby, and so I had to prepare myself because my wife is super healthy, so she has a different view on a lot of things than I do, and I can just know that it has the potential for us, having some back and forth if I ain't really careful managing how each situation that we're going into. And so it's
Yeah.
just important because in my life I want to be 9, 10 and above when it comes to mental health. And in
Yeah.
order for you to have a 9, 10 all the time, you have to manage each situation your way. Even if you disagree with something or you don't agree with it, you can't allow that other emotion to take over. And so I'm just preparing myself because I definitely understand that it's going to be a lot of different things because my wife is strict when it comes to eating certain things and sugar and stuff like that. And I can just imagine she's like,
Y'all gonna be
don't you get your son that he
y'all
can't
gonna
have
be y'all gonna be stuffing your son up with all that proteins and all that type stuff, man. Y'all gotta tell your little son gonna be wanting to eat Cheerios and Fruit
I
Loops
got
on
Cheerios.
Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. I got Cheerios. That stuff I got. She can't keep it from me. You understand? So
It's
he
gonna
gonna
be
be like,
hard
I
for
want some of that.
it's gonna be hard for her not to keep it from him though.
I mean, have y'all picked
Hey.
out names yet?
Yes, his name is Elijah.
That's
Oh
my son
snap!
names.
Yeah,
Hey,
I was
Elijah.
gonna pay you to
man.
name your kid after me. I'm buying kids naming rights, like stadiums.
It's a Vikings name. Where's Jody at?
You
He's
ain't see
Right.
his comment. He said he is on his
Oh,
producer
he
ish.
producer. Hey,
yeah,
y'all.
he's
Hey,
trying to
hey.
get his
I'm gonna
desk.
say this. I'm gonna say this while we on live, man. Shout out to Jody, man.
Yeah,
Jody has been a huge part to this team, to this family, and he out there doing his thing, man. Jody, we salute you big time, brother. We just thank you for all your support, brother. We just thank you for pulling your weight, as you call it. Yeah, every time we
All
talk
us
to
need to
him,
get like Jody in a
hey, he be
sense.
like, hey, yeah,
yeah.
he be like, man, I'm just trying to pull my weight. That's all I'm trying to do. So, man, well, shout out to Jody, man. People that's watching, man, y'all ain't got nothing. Now y'all ain't got nothing toasted to throw in the comments and tell us about, man. We want to learn about the family, man. We
I
finna
think
jump
they
into
ready for
the
the show to
comment.
get on.
We gonna jump into the show because we definitely want to talk about that. But y'all ain't got nothing going on, man. Family. Some of y'all probably working. Ready to say he alright. He alright. He good. He good with us. Yeah, I did call you last night, Jody, and you ain't answer that phone. And I don't know, like Jimmy said, I don't know if you got the memo, but when I call you, you better answer that phone. So next time I'm gonna let it slide because you get one. You
That's
get
right.
one. Now I know I didn't answer the phone. I was talking to my mother. She was a high priority at that
That's
time. So when I call you back, you better call me back or answer the phone when I call. And we talk about that later. But
So
hey
we got
man, let's do it, coach.
all right. So what I was saying, what I was about to say is, we getting ready to get into this workplace sexual harassment. And so it is definitely a touchy subject for a lot of people who've been through this situation and who've had to report people and stuff like that. So we definitely want to be mindful of that. But there's always, like like Nick said, there's always three sides to a story. You know, you got one person's side, the other person, and then what actually happened. And so, you know, we just want to make sure that, you know, we take all account, you know, everybody's situation that's going on. But times have changed, right? Times have changed because, you know, back in the day, the stuff that's, you know, considered harassment now, back in the day was okay. You know, I don't know. And let me put it like this. I don't know if it was ever okay, but it just wasn't reported like that.
Right,
And
right,
so,
right, right.
and so we actually have a guest that we have, Miss Amber. Is this a friend of Jody's?
Yes.
Normally we would like to have
Hey,
Jody here
coach,
introduce.
listen, this family talk. She part of the family.
Okay, part of the family. So let's go
Yeah.
ahead and bring in Miss Jody.
Not Miss
Miss
Jody.
Miss
Miss
Jody?
Amber.
Amber, I'm sorry.
Amber,
I was
what's
You done
good?
married Jody
thinking-
off?
Yeah, I was thinking
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Jody was.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this
Good
morning?
morning. Happy
Hey.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
First of all, sorry for calling you Miss Jody. I wouldn't want to put him onto anybody. All right?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
He's not.
that.
He's not ready for that at all. So just scratch that for sure. I'm working on him, but he ain't there yet.
Yeah, he ain't there yet. So Amber, while we got you on, what's your mental health from 1 to 10?
Oof, oof. Explain that for me. 10 being bad or
10
good?
10 being the best, and 1 being whatever the end of the stick is.
I'd say I'm a solid 7.5 to an 8.
Okay. Anything below 5, we need to have Coach A put you on the couch and get you a pillow, and we need to talk about it. So thank you. I think you above the Coach A coaching limit. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Coach, just read it, bro.
Yeah. So I like how you just put me on the spot, though. Like Coach,
That's what you do. That's what you do. Because listen, had she said she was like a 4 or 5 or 3, you would want to know why she had a 4, 5 or 3, right?
I want to know why she not 9 or 10.
Oh, you see,
I want to know.
You
Yeah.
about to be extra about it. So I was trying to cut it short. You trying to extend it.
Listen, nobody is perfect. Everybody has room to evolve and grow.
True that.
There
True
you
that.
go,
There
true
you go.
that.
But remember that
Here you go.
mental
I
health.
know. I was like, here we go.
That mental health is your reflection. And so when you
Right.
look in the mirror, what do you see? So you can be whatever you want because it's your reflection. So if you say that you are a 5, a 6, or a 7, that's what you're going to be. And so no matter what the situation don't determine what our number is. We determine what our number is. So that's all I
Yep.
want to say. It's all good. So how you doing?
I'm good. I'm on my second cup of coffee, so
Okay.
it's been a good day so far.
Awesome.
Again, we appreciate you jumping on the family talk.
Of course. I
She
appreciate
was,
it.
on, she was on Toxic Tuesday. She was doing the thing on Toxic Tuesday. So let me salute you on Toxic Tuesday as well.
Uh-oh.
That was a lot of fun. That was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You are more than welcome to come back to any show you want to come back to.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
You just got the all exclusive VIP pass from B. So that's
Absolutely.
I want something that I can put in my wallet so I can flash that when I need to.
There you go, B.
Gotta get you a card. We gotta get you a card.
It's gonna get you free barbecue too.
I knew there were perks to it.
There you go.
So what type of what experience do you have with this topic that we're talking on? Have you been the person that got in trouble for doing it to somebody else, or
No, I see this topic is like you said, it's kind of a touchy subject because I think we spend more time with our coworkers really than we do with our family in most situations. I mean, we work all the time, right?
Right.
So I think after you know people for so long, you get a little comfortable and you notice that some more risque things kind of get said and, so you get comfortable in that sense. But I have gone through an experience that was really, really uncomfortable for me. I still work there, but this was a long, long time ago. And I actually had a guy that I had known for years try to touch me inappropriately. Like he put his hand like down my jeans when I was turned away from him. And my first reaction was I turned around and I slapped him.
I was gonna say,
yeah, I didn't know that was what I was gonna do. I didn't really realize kind of what happened, and this was in front of like probably 40 or 50 other people. They didn't see what happened, but they did see me slap him.
Oh wow!
And nobody said anything to me. Nobody asked if I was okay. Nobody said, "Hey, what's going on?" It was just a very uncomfortable situation, and I really. Like I said, it happened so quickly, I really didn't know what to do. So after that day of work, I just went to my office manager and I said, hey, I don't want to work with so-and-so anymore. Put me somewhere else. And she asked me why. And I didn't want to get into it. I didn't explain it to her. I said, just please put me somewhere else. Cause I really didn't want to, I was afraid of like the negative feedback or, people whispering and talking and all that stuff. So I let it go. I didn't file any reports or anything like that.
Oh man.
So nobody ever found out what happened in that particular situation.
After he got fired for whatever reason, like maybe a couple years later for something else, because he had that he was an inappropriate guy.
Yeah.
He was more so always kind of verbally rude in that way, kind of crossing the line a lot of times with not just me but other girls that worked there. So after he left is when I kind of told my office manager what really happened.
Oh, okay. What was his position? Was he like a supervisor? Was it you guys like the same, had the same position at work or?
He was, he wasn't the boss. He wasn't, the head honcho walking around, but he had a very, important role. And the people that we work for, all the other guys that worked there, they were like family to him. I mean, they had been working together for 20, 25 years or so. So I was just afraid that he knew everybody, for way longer than I had. So I thought that I would just be kind of ganged up against, I guess, and
yeah. And
so,
that's pretty common. That's pretty common for people that, suffer that type of abuse or that type of situation that feel like that to be, to kind of want to just keep it themselves because they don't want to be under the ridicule of everybody else. First of all, very sorry that you experienced that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate you sharing that story. But it's all too well common in the workplace with people like that.
Yeah.
That's very comfortable, that's been there for years. And so, just think moving forward, would you handle it differently? Because you got to think from another aspect is that what about the next person? Like, we don't want this. He doesn't deserve to be to be kept quiet. He don't deserve to be protected.
Yeah.
See, he doesn't deserve to be protected.
Yeah, we can't let him off the hook. We can't let him.
Well, that was. I was young at that time. I was maybe like 24, 25. So I really didn't know. Me at my age now at 37, that there's no way that's gonna slide today.
Right.
I was just younger and kind of didn't really know my strength at that point. And I was 25 versus being 37. Mentally it's a different place to be.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't let that happen. And I also want to say too, like, when you're, I'm not speaking for everybody, of course, but growing up, us girls are taught, guys are going to do this, so be prepared. Guys are going to act like this, so be prepared. They didn't really teach us, or me, I should say, that it was actually sexual harassment. It was more like, boys are going to be boys, and we just have to, deal with it how we deal with it. I mean, further offenses like sexual assault and, things that are more so verbal, or not verbal, but more physical, of course, is different. But like I said, the bad behavior, we always just were like, oh, that's just a guy for you.
Yeah.
But I don't think that way now. I mean, I think everybody needs to be responsible for their behavior.
At what age was you taught that when they was teaching you boys would be boys?
Elementary school, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. It's just like, guys, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And, don't let anybody do this. But we didn't really know, like I said, the words sexual harassment were never said. It was just like, just don't let anybody do that.
And it's unfortunately it's kind of true because, when I was younger, coming in school, middle school, which is of course in Ohio is just 7th and 8th. We only had 2, and then going into high school, that's how we were. Both ways, boys and girls. We was touching, but obviously it was people that we knew. We had a relationship with. You just go up and touch somebody.
Just saying, Coach. Hey, I was in the same boat when I was in like 6th grade. I was doing the same thing you was talking about, but it came to a point that I was doing it because my other classmates was doing it. Yeah. And after a certain point, it wasn't me, so I just stopped doing it.
Oh, you was doing it. Oh, you didn't enjoy it. You was just doing it because somebody else was doing it.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't right.
Right. No, but I'm just saying I can understand where she's coming from because, growing up, that's how we interacted with each other. Girls did it too. It wasn't just the boys. Girls did it too. And we're in a completely different era, a different situation now. So, I can understand, that, they teaching you, hey, boys will be boys or girls will be girls or whatnot, because we would have been in trouble now with some of the stuff that was, we was doing back then. But obviously, the relationship was different. If you have somebody that you like or that potentially like or they like you, then that's completely different. But if you have somebody that you don't care about, you don't like, you always had that girl that, she look at you like, you ain't gonna try her because she gonna slack you in the face, she gonna embarrass you.
Better not touch my booty.
Coach A, I want to say this. First of all, I want to welcome my home girl. I know her since like early elementary school. Miss Francis, I appreciate you so much for joining us. Coach? Welcome to the Family Talk. Appreciate you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you guys for having me.
No problem. First of all, Francis, if you talk about one of those girls that'll whoop your ass for touching her, Francis was definitely that. What's your record again? What is it, like 22-1?
Yeah, and I was young with that one.
Okay, I got a question. You was whooping everybody. I know every dude wasn't getting the 1s and 2s.
Oh no, I refrained from touching on beating on boys for the most part, but I certainly didn't take no ish from the fellas.
I know that's right.
So we got Layla Ali on here.
Yeah, we got Layla.
Hey, bro, I seen her put hands on at least 3 people in middle school, and one of them happened to be one of the fellas, and he thought Ish was sweet, and she hit him with the 1-2, and then hit Buddy. Next thing you know, I seen Buddy in the arm bar, and I was like, dang, bro, she the real deal.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, that's when you became friends with her.
yeah. I figured we finna be cool. Better safe than sorry,
He ain't want no smoke. So, Francis, do you happen to have like a story where you've been involved into something that has something to do with sexual harassment, or somebody close to you that has had something that has something to do with it?
Yes, absolutely. Now, something also that we have to consider is beating up your peer, which I'm not proud of beating up anybody, but I just don't tolerate bullies. I don't tolerate anyone being taken advantage of. But it becomes a lot different when you have someone who's in power over you, right? Where you have to make a means and you have to make a living, and that's the person who essentially is violating you. So, and I did want to mirror what Amber was saying. We're taught at a very young age that boys will be boys, and that this is just normal, right? And we have to control ourselves. We have to control how we dress. We have to control how we carry ourselves versus the conversations that really need to be had with young boys on how they need to conduct themselves.
That's true.
So then boys grow into men who really didn't have that kind of guidance, and they don't realize some of the behavior that they exhibit is inappropriate. So absolutely, so I just wanted to preface with that. Now, as far as the workplace, even things like over complimenting, like, oh, I've had people say your boobs look nice, and it's like, we're at work, bro. Like, are you serious right now? You know, this is we're not at the club, we're at work. And you do have to kind of defend yourself, but when it's somebody who's your supervisor or maybe a CEO of a company, your reaction is usually a bit different, right? Because you have to figure out your next move. So I definitely have run into situations where the comments were very inappropriate. I have been actually physically touched. And as you guys alluded to, I did manage that issue myself immediately.
As you should.
So I got a question.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's for both of y'all. So when y'all initially get those type of comments that make y'all feel uncomfortable, do y'all let it slide like the first time, or do y'all go ahead and handle it, or what do y'all do from that point?
Yeah, Amber, if you want to chime in.
Sure. This is where it gets kind of complicated, I guess, because if I know you and I feel comfortable enough with you to kind of maybe, throw an insult back and kind of let you know, nicely, maybe with a little smile on my face, and what I'm going to say probably will hurt your feelings. So you'll know that it's like, okay, she's not really feeling that. Maybe I shouldn't go any further. I will definitely speak up and let somebody know, hey, you went a little too far with that one. Don't speak to me that way. I want to be respected. So I will defend myself and let it be known if I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've kind of let stuff slide more so because I struggled with being the mean girl, being known as the mean girl. So at one point in my life, I was like, well, I don't want to be that way. And so I had to find that medium. But for a period of time, I was letting stuff slide. And then I did have to just realize that you can't. You have to show people how to treat you.
Exactly.
And that's when things definitely changed.
Exactly.
That's a good question.
So I got a question.
To a point where it's like, it's unfortunately it is so common that we kind of downplay it a little bit sometimes. And like I said, we just have these little smart comments to come back and just be real snippy and like, hey, stay over there, or ew, get away from me. I don't, or whatever. But it is, we do have to take control of that. And I think with me, I almost felt like I didn't have control, and that really angered me a lot. That's when I started putting my foot down and not letting certain things slide.
So at what? My bad, Coach. Go ahead.
I had a quick question. So obviously that's how you handle. Do you handle every situation like that? Like there has to be some guys in that. Now, are you any of you married or in relationships?
No, I'm single.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm in a relationship.
Okay, so at the point in the situation where you is there when you wasn't in a relationship, did you allow allow these kind of interactions between certain people, or obviously certain guys? Like for instance, because I've seen in the workplace two people interact and you can tell they being fresh or whatnot, but it's going back and forth and it's something that they want. So if somebody else step over there and do the same thing or say the same thing to that girl, you gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I think of course if you are involved with someone or flirting with someone, the conversations are going to be different for sure. I do try to make sure that in a professional setting I always remain professional and that those lines are not blurred for that reason, because some people don't pick up on cues. Some people, they just don't have that kind of skill set. So you do have to make sure that everyone is aware of where your boundaries are. So I try to keep it professional in all settings. I was in music for some time, like in promotions, and I was dating a promoter, and I was like, listen, like when we in public, treat me like everybody else because I don't want the artist to think that that's how I carry myself.
Go ahead, Nick.
At what age did y'all figure it out that I'm gonna have these people treat me the way I should be treated?
For me, it was late 20s. I was old, y'all. I was old because I went from that mean girl stage to a weird stage in my 20s where I didn't want to be known as that. And also you're still finding your way in your 20s. You're still trying to figure out what's acceptable, what you like, what you don't like. So it was definitely my late 20s when I was like, I ain't taking no ish again, and I don't care who doesn't like it. But also when you're younger, you get worn down easier, I think. So you're tired of having to address every single thing. I mean, you can be on your way to the club and be catcalled 30 times. And it's like, I can't cuss everybody out. At some point you go like, whatever. So when I was clubbing in my 20s, I think also it was like, man, I ain't got time to cuss everybody out. And also you don't know how the other person's reactions are. In Florida particularly, because I've lived in other parts of the country, guys can be very aggressive. And I mean, it ain't nothing for them to cuss you out. So, and I'm going to cuss back. So I was like, I don't want to be in that situation too often.
To the point where it's just sliding, you know what I'm saying? So I get that.
What
Jody,
he was asking the age.
Oh yeah, my bad.
I'm kind of in the same boat as her. When I was 14, 15, all the way up until early 20s, I was kind of a loud, aggressive kind of. I would resort to violence really, really quickly when I was a teenager. And then I tried to kind of soften myself too. But I think it was like feast or famine. I was either like all the way or I just kind of let everything go. And it wasn't until like my late 20s when my son was about 3 or 4 probably is when I was kind of changed and was more assertive and more, I'm raising a son, so when I was thinking about the behavior of men, that I've experienced, I definitely don't want my son to think that certain things are okay. So that's kind of when I got my strength, saying, okay, I have this young boy who's watching me. I need him to see that I'm going to demand respect from people, and I'm going to do whatever that takes to show him how it is supposed to be. And you shouldn't let anybody talk to you a certain type of way, or just whistle at you and scream out the window while you're at the gas station. Things like that are not okay. So I would say later 20s is when I started really, really getting that together.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to do that.
And it's the same for daughters too. It's the same for daughters. You have to be an example for the young ladies on how to respect themselves or how to address those things. Men, we don't have to worry about that. We're not gonna get 15, 20, 30 cat calls or any of those things. And we
what
wish
are you
we
talking
would.
about?
We wish
we walk outside in our gray shorts, we gonna get cat called.
Hey,
it ain't even 30 women around you.
I'm just saying.
It ain't even 30 women around
yourself. I have been catcalled walking through the mall every once in a while. Speak for yourself, and I'd be like, I'd be appalled and shocked at some of the stuff they say. One chick was like, "Hey, little daddy, what's inside them gray sweatshorts?" I was like, "What?"
Yeah, which I don't like double standard, by the way. So I'm not saying that women should be allowed to do any of the things that we just mentioned. It's inappropriate, and I don't play that either. But I know that somebody asked, what is catcalling? So it's like, hey girl, come here, hey red, or whistling, all of those things. That's catcalling.
No, catcalling. Hey, blue shirt.
Man, I want to do that.
He said, hey, blue shirt.
So Amber, I got a question for you. So with you having your son, do you actually like sit him down and tell him how to treat women, or do you just go by showing them what is your goal about?
I do both. I try to lead by example. I try to do a little bit of both. And he's 14 now, so I am terrified that he'll go and, when he was in elementary school, there was an incident where like the kids were running around and like everybody was slapping everybody on the butt, like the girls were doing it, the boys were doing it. He was, 6. And that's when I got really scared because, I mean, gosh, you can get a charge for, sexual assault. Even he could have got kicked out of school, and it scared me so bad. So I verbalized it to him. And I also try to lead by, what's going on in my life. So it's both. It's definitely both. And I talk to him all the time. If a girl says no, stop. If a girl is uncomfortable, stop. Watch what you say, watch how you act, watch how you behave, because it is their responsibility too, to have those appropriate behaviors and respect someone else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and same for me. Kids seldom listen to what you tell them, but they always watch what you do. So I make sure that when I'm in certain situations, I call out something real quick. Like, you see what he just did? Don't be that lame-o. Like, I'll be quick in front of the person. Especially like if you try to approach me when I'm with my children, I think it's very rude and very disrespectful for you to approach me in a certain way when I'm with my children. And I've had it happen. It's not too often, but I've had it happen. And I call it out like, that's lame. And so I always make sure that when there's a relevant situation that I address it and I bring it up, because also having an example is helpful too. So this is an example of what not to do. Don't be that lame.
All right, Francis, I got a question for you actually. So do you find yourself like in a situation where like, because you have a daughter, she's in high school, and I think your son's almost in high school, your oldest son. So like, do you have like similar conversations with them about this, or is it like the same exact conversation?
It's usually the same exact conversations, just from their point of view. We are usually always together. So if like, or let's say a movie, let's say we saw a movie together and I'm like, now you see how he disrespected her and he talked to her this way, like you don't ever do that, and talk to him, about that situation. And I'll look over to my left and see, don't you ever let nobody talk to you like that. And, go on and just usually just juxtapose it for what's relevant to them. It's now, if it's really something that's deep, I'll put them to the side, but usually I want them to see it from each other's point of view. And also correlate it with their sibling. You wouldn't want nobody to treat JoJo like that. You wouldn't want nobody to treat your brother like that. So that's why you need to conduct yourself in a certain way. So it's usually together. Okay. And my youngest is not exempt too. I keep it real with my kid. As long as it's age appropriate, and so they all get the talks from young.
Mm-hmm. So I wanted to ask a question, and this is to everybody. Dealing with the sexual harassment thing, because I think what involves with the sexual harassment thing is also your conversation with people. People got to learn how not to take the conversation somewhere where it doesn't need to be taken. Because I think that's where a lot of sexual harassment comes from, is conversation between the opposite sex in the workplace. Mm-hmm. Conversation that probably shouldn't be had. And I know we've all been in the workplace before where we've talked to male or female about something that probably shouldn't have been talked about in the workplace. So I just want to know, and if nobody has no examples, we can move on. But if anybody have any examples of what type of conversations that y'all are having with people, man or female, that can bring sexual harassment abroad?
Man, they be having these conversations all the time at my job, and it get to a point like, and some of these people be in relationships, so I really don't understand or get it. But you joke around or you flirt so hard that you get other people interested in what y'all talking about, and I sit there, I laugh, I throw my little jokes in, but at the end of the day, people I work with know me. No, like I'm just there and playing around, because when anything go left, I'm gonna say something real quick. And I mean, most of my brothers know. So yeah, I mean, the conversation is always at my job most of the time sexual. So I can understand like these girls out here, not all girls, but some of these girls be like playing hard, and then they get mad when somebody don't get it that they just playing. So
that's what I was saying. It's such a risky line to be to be walking on, because like I said, you do spend a lot of time with these people and you get to know them and you throw out jokes. Oh, that's what she said. And then it keeps going and going and going. But there's like a PG, I guess, if you will, like just very playful, funny, haha. But you do have to be very careful for it not to go, beyond that. So it's a very it's a fine line for sure.
Yeah, it's a fine line. What about you, Jody?
I actually did have an incident a while ago where I actually had to sit down with HR and sit down with like the management people, because I almost got fired for making a comment to actually one of my male coworkers. So we were working together and he left his sunglasses. So he had to go in the store and purchase a pair of sunglasses. And, for him, the only ones he found out was dark enough was some girly sunglasses, right? So I made a comment to him, messing with him. I was like, I know you ain't got on no girly sunglasses. And he was like, man, don't leave me alone. And I was like, ooh, look at you looking like a hot piece of tail. And he came back to me. He was like, well, just know I don't give it up on the first night. And I was like, well, just know we ain't going to Ruth Chris on the first night. So, don't be that type of person. And we joked around for a little bit and somebody else heard it. Right. And I guess somewhere down the line, the manager that heard it got it misconstrued and thought we were talking to a female. And so she made it a big deal. And at the end of when it was all said and done, it was me and him sitting there and we had to kind of like really convince them like, yo, no, I was talking to him. Like we were joking with each other. But like they had HR and they had all these papers and stuff. And I'm sitting there looking like that. All this looked like a nigga about to get fired right now. And I was like, yo, I was talking to him and he was talking to me. So it is what you say and not even what you say to people. It's like the people around you can hear you and feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Because one time, I swear to God, I was talking about oatmeal, and I was like, yeah, I like sometimes to mix honey with my oatmeal to make it thick. And I said that to a female, and she kind of felt some type of way. And I'm like, first of all, Becky, you skinny as hell. Like, don't do that. Ain't nothing thick about you. All right. So,
you was telling her to eat oatmeal.
Hey, this is totally off subject. But y'all with grits, y'all put sugar in y'all grits?
No, man.
No.
Yeah, this is way off subject.
Well, when I was a kid. But.
No.
Blasphemy.
I just had to ask that question because he was talking about oatmeal.
Yeah, no, hell no. No. Don't put sugar in grits. What's wrong with people? But yeah, so I've had a couple incidences at work where I've actually almost gotten in trouble for having conversation with other people, and then like we commented on something and she just felt some type of way and was like, oh, you made a sexual reference to me being thick. And as I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my boss and my boss is looking at me and we're all looking around each other and I'm like, y'all know me, y'all know I ain't got no filter, y'all really finna sit there and make me sit in this room and say exactly what the hell I'll be thinking. Ain't nothing about this girl thick over here at all, so why the hell would I be making a reference to her being thick? Look at her, she look like a surfboard up and down from the front and the back. Like ain't nothing about her thick.
So now you body shame.
Yeah. You just went to something else.
Pretty much.
Hey, you know what? If I was in this office, you wouldn't have got body shame. You would have left
part of that reason is the character that you have, that you're known for. Everywhere you go, you're going to be known for a particular personality. And so if you continue that, then people are going to have a perception about you. It's going to be easier for somebody to call you in the office and be like, hey, did you do this or did you not? Versus somebody who's been maintaining the same. This is the truth, because it would be hard, because when I interact with people in the workplace and I see and I can because I have those thoughts, I have those thoughts of those quick comebacks. Be like, man, if I say this, it'll be funny. But I'll be like, nope, they're gonna get the wrong impression. You see what I'm saying?
I get that. You know what I'm saying? But like it's one thing for me being the jokester and the a-hole, bro. But you ain't gonna catch me on no sexual harassment tip, bro.
But Jody,
a comment ain't worth getting fired for, bro. I kind of almost like my job.
This is what I'm saying. If somebody called you and said, and Coach A said this about me, Coach A said that about you, how easy would it be for you to believe them or not?
I mean, for you,
and that's based on your character that you portray in the workplace. So you have to understand that too. Like if you've been out there without a filter, then your filter might offend somebody. I mean, by you not having it might offend somebody. It'd be easier for you to get caught in the office versus somebody that's been straight and professional the entire time. So you have to take all that in consideration. It'll help you a lot because some people will give you you could be meaning just what you said. I was talking to him and they'd be like, well, Jody he don't normally act like that. So maybe it's just me, or maybe I just took it the wrong way or something like that. Versus, no, I know he's talking about me because he talk like this all the time.
But what's crazy though? I feel what you're saying, and you about right. I feel what you're saying. But
I love what you said. Right.
You about right. I feel what you're saying. But I have, because like I said, I got 28 stores, and I deal with a lot of people in a lot of areas, right? And I'm gonna be real with you. It's this one store, right? It is way down in like Fort Myers, right? And so the more south you get, the more island you get. You know what I'm saying? Especially in Florida. So it's this one store, and they got like a manager and 2 supervisors, bruh. When I tell you, all 3 of them find it in a mug. One's Jamaican, right? So one's Jamaican and Puerto Rican, and one's just Puerto Rican. Now I know for a fact, like all 3 of them, I know why y'all got the jobs, and I know why y'all keep this store lit, because I'm talking about I ain't never seen so many men. I ain't never seen so many men in these stores. Every time I go to their stores, I'm talking about it be the construction workers on their breaks. They go in there and buy crap. I'm talking about a t-shirt that's $8.99, be sitting up in their faces talking, and I be like, bruh.
Jody, they can't be professional.
They being professional. Listen, they are being very professional. Them women conduct themselves magnificently, bruh.
That's not why the men is there.
No, hell no. They dogs, right? So I know for a fact that they know they fine. And every time I go to that store, I keep it straight up. Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon. I'm here to do this. I don't say nothing. Because I know if they were like, if Mike said this to these ladies, they'd be like, hell yeah, he said it. He definitely said it. So it's like, the finer you are at work, the less I talk to you, because you ain't finna get me roped up. You know what I'm saying? I conversate with the ugly chicks about a punch bowl. You know what I'm saying? Them the ones I conversate with. I'm not talking to no. I ain't talking to no baddies, bruh. So I'm just saying, like, bruh. If I seen Amber and Francis at work, they would. Good morning, good afternoon. Hey, have a good weekend. Hey, have a good evening. And that's all they getting from me, because you ain't finna get me roped up. Also, no.
I don't think they're out to get you roped up. You always get yourself roped up. Listen, I have a office for the past 18 years, and I have so many different customers come in my office every year. And just the same range. Some of them fine, some of them not so fine. You know what I'm saying?
Ugly. You can say ugly, Coach.
You can't say ugly nowadays.
Not your
cup of tea.
Yeah, not my type.
I guess I'm different because I'm gonna call you ugly.
I feel you.
Yeah, you just have to treat them the same way.
That's not my bowl of oatmeal.
Right.
So you trying to get me in trouble again. You ain't right.
So it's just a matter of how you present yourself, not within that particular moment, but the course of your life is going to help as well. And so you just have to realize that if you adapt the filter, you won't have these issues. You'll be okay.
Now you should tell that man to change.
So
why I gotta change myself? You don't love me for myself, Coach?
You should be.
You don't love me for myself?
Yes, of course I do. But you should be able to talk to anybody. It don't matter if they fine or not. You shouldn't be like,
and I do talk to him. When I walk in that store in Fort Myers, I'm like, how you doing, Miss Sabrina? They should be like, how you doing? I'm like, hey, I just want you to know I'm here. I'm about to hop on the roof. I'm about to go check out the AC. And I check out
you one of the guys, ain't you? You one of the guys, ain't you?
I'm one of the what?
You one of those guys that come to the store because they fine.
No, I get work orders. I don't go to the store unless it's a work order. So when I get there, I tell them, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to go hop on the roof. And when I get done, I come back in and check in on you, right? And then when I get done, I'm like, hey, Mr. Sabrina, I just want you to know it was this, and that, and the third. I'm done. Everything should be good. And call me if you need anything else. You know what I'm saying? Just throw it in the work order thing. And she's like, all right, cool. You have a nice day. And I'm like, all right, cool, bet. I appreciate you for opening the roof hatch for me. And I'll see you later. And that is the extent of the conversation having.
Since we have two ladies here, I want to ask y'all a question from the perspective. how much of a person's background plays a difference in their interaction with you?
What do you mean by that? Do you mean like what do they do or how we are connected?
How you're like, if you have a person that has a history of this, do you view this person like, okay, I got to watch out with this person? Because, you know, like in me and Jody's conversation, he said he don't have a filter. So, you know what I'm saying? Would that make a difference in how you interact with this person? Like, you know what, I'm gonna keep this short. I'm gonna keep this because it has the potential of going to the left or going to the right.
I mean, I guess it just depends on what no filter means. Like if you're just gonna be like, girl, your hair look a mess, no filter, that's different than your boobs look really nice. And then so I guess that depends on what the no filter is. If he's just a jokester, like me and Jody, we've known each other for, since elementary school. He's never ever disrespected me, so I don't care that he has no filter. We be going in together.
Right.
We'd be going in together, but if he were to be like one of those weirdos, then yeah, I'm gonna avoid you for sure.
Yeah, and me and Francis actually, right, we did a live a while ago, right? And because I was like, yo, she made a post one time, and I was like, that's because you always walk around looking mean. And she was like, I don't walk around looking mean. I'm like, yes, you do. And she's like, no, I don't. And I'm like, I tell you, well, how about we hop on live and we discuss how you be looking mean, and this why dudes don't be approaching you sometimes. And she was like, well, if we do, I don't think anybody gonna watch. I'm like, Francis, all them thirsty behind niggas on your comment, they gonna watch. You on live, they gonna watch. And she's like, whatever. I probably look a mess. And I'm like, they don't care. They don't care. I was like, you wear a little nice little low cut shirt. Oh, you gonna watch. They gonna watch. And just to show enough, we posted that thing. And as soon as I tagged her in it, here I got 42 niggas right, all eyeballs in the comments and everything. And I said, I told you they was gonna come. So,
yeah, you and Jody obviously have a relationship, but I'm talking in terms of somebody at the workplace. If you know somebody at the workplace, I mean, you've seen them interact with other people, and you know they have the potential. It's just like you mentioned. Is that a person you would try to avoid that conversation?
Yes, all day.
Right. Versus somebody who
I
you know.
too.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm asking. So you would.
Yeah, I mean, if I've heard bad stories about somebody, or just and there's always three sides to every story, but if I do hear something negative like that, or he likes this or he likes that, and he says it, he verbalizes it, he does, somebody said that he's done inappropriate things, and I'll avoid it altogether, because I've been in several situations, not just that one at work, so it makes you uncomfortable. You want to avoid it at all costs. You don't want to put yourself in that position to have to defend yourself, or to potentially have to, get HR involved or things like that. So I'll avoid it as much as I can. But the problem with that too is a lot of times, the really inappropriate things go unreported. So a lot of people just don't know, you don't know people really for who they really are. Until something happens, Yeah,
and for me, it just goes back to raising these kids right, because it's unfair that people have to walk around and duck and dodge somebody, or not be part of certain conversations because we're concerned you gonna act up. So it's really something that people need to work on as we're rearing these children, so that way people can be free to be who they are, and be happy, and not have to feel like, I need to avoid such and such because he's going to take it there.
Right. Exactly.
What it all boils down to is that people need to know how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Without crossing that line. And I think that's where, especially as men, that's where we get it twisted, is that we get comfortable with a female and she's really not on that level. She's just comfortable with you because she probably like general conversation. But we get that sense where a female gets comfortable and like, all right, see how far I can take it because she's comfortable. And that's where us as men, we need to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop looking at a situation in the mindset of, okay, she comfortable with this. She might have said something like this, but I should say this or I should say that. No, we just need to learn how to conversate with each other through the male species and the female species and not have to cross that line. Now, of course, you're gonna have those conversations where you might talk to somebody and you might get interested with somebody as you're conversating. As long as that's, is that something that the both of you are comfortable with, then that's fine. But with and I'm mainly talking to y'all fellas that's watching, man. Let's be respectful to these females when we have these conversations, man. Straight up, because a lot of the time, sexual harassment it comes from men. It comes from men being bold, like they.
Actually, it's not. It's mostly women. You double standard.
I think it does happen to men often.
I'm not saying it's not.
Even less than the women would.
I'm not saying that it's not happening to men. It's happening to men too.
Then why aren't we talking about that? This whole conversation been geared towards women, like women are the only ones that get sexual. We ain't mentioned nothing about men. What, we can't get sexually harassed? I'll let you know. I'll tell you a story.
Well, you got to give us your story, Telly.
I was at work, man.
There we go.
And I was 21. I was roughly 21, and I'm at work, and I'm working downtown Chicago. My coworker happens to be the mother of my guy's girl, and she's an older lady, and they called her Big Booty Ann because she had big booties and hips. And one day, I asked her to reach down and grab me some type of dressing or something, and she reached down there, and then she was down there. Then all of a sudden, I felt her hands massaging my legs. And I was like, what's going on here? And she like nice legs, and she kept rubbing them, and I'm looking like this is an unwanted sexual advance. And I'm looking like, what do I do? So I'm like, well, if we was closed, while she was down there, she can finish. But I turned, that's just turning a frown upside down for me. But the point is, she went.
Telly, you realize sometimes, bigger women, when they bend over, they have to have support somewhere. So she could have just been making sure your leg was there in case she fell.
No, brother, I looked down. She was looking at my legs. She was, man, but she was like that, though. That's the thing. Wasn't just with me, but she liked the younger dudes, She even did my brother. It was like, she was just like an HR nightmare. It's like, men can be sexually harassed too, man. And people for men though. See, I've heard stories about men being sexually harassed, and they tell men, "Well, you didn't like her because she was ugly to you." Because if it's a fine girl, you wouldn't say anything. I'm like, dude, it shouldn't matter if you're fine or ugly. If I don't want you to touch my body, don't touch my body.
That's true.
So with men, it's like we get looked at like, nah, you can't really be sexually harassed because you a guy. Woman touch you, you automatically gonna feel like, you're supposed to feel like it's a compliment or something. But it's like, nah, man, sometimes I'm just, I don't feel the person in that way, like no matter what she look like. It could be because looks ain't everything. I've seen some of the prettiest girls who say some of the most messed up stuff, and I look at them like, you a piece of trash. I can't mess with you. So don't sit here and just make it seem like men we all need to conversate and watch what we say.
Well,
even at work for me, y'all get more of me and my personality do they get at work. Because at work, man, I'm at work. For a while, they didn't think I could talk. They thought I was a mule. I don't say nothing.
I tell my son, things that are appropriate, inappropriate. I want to make sure that he knows as a young man that he can be assaulted just as a woman can. And I know that there's difference, I guess, if you will, even though there shouldn't be a difference, there kind of is. But I want him to know, don't let anybody do this, don't let anybody do that. And I worry because that's my even I call him my baby, even though he's not a baby. And it's like
he your baby.
I don't want to have to get on one of these little high school girls. I'm gonna call a cousin or somebody and go get that one because she touched my baby.
She's sending out hits.
So I got another question. I mean, it still references the sexual
About
harassment, but what do y'all think all about the Me Too movement?
Yeah, good
Oh
question.
man, we got time for that. Oh man.
Nah, I mean we got about 30, 45 minutes. So
All right, well, I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible, Cam. But
one more thing. Somebody said Robinson comment up. Said always watch our show. He might not watch it live. I just wanted to shout him out. He might not watch it live, but he always watching our show on YouTube and stuff. So I just wanted to shout my man out.
Hey, don't just shout out Sid. Shout out everybody.
shout out everybody watching the show.
Everybody watching the show, man. Y'all like, subscribe, and share. That's all we ask. And that's all we ask, Jody. That's all we ask.
That's it. That's all we ask. Like, subscribe, and share. So,
wait,
man.
hold on, Jody. Before you go on into this Me movement thing, right? Darnell posted about being a GM, right? When you transfer from a regular worker to a supervisor, how should that affect your communication with your coworkers in that aspect? I think that's important to hit too. I don't know if you want to do it now or after, but I think that's important when it comes to, communicating with different coworkers and how you present yourself. So go ahead, Jack.
Okay, well, that's a good one, Darnell. But with the Me Too movement, I think it's very important for people who've been like sexually abused or assaulted or made feel some type of way. I think is it very important that they definitely speak up, because you know what I'm saying, whether it is something somebody said or whether you've been touched, you didn't deserve that, and it's not okay. You know what I'm saying? So at no point is any type of sexual assault, abuse, no words, no gestures, anything like that is okay. All right. And I think it should be taken very seriously. It's not something that's be taken lightly, because it's like you really messing with these people mental health. Like, you know what I'm saying? People have like Francis and Amber spoke. It's like you have people who higher ups who do these type of things, and it's like now you're conflicted as I really like my job, but do I really say something, because I don't want to get put in that spot where I'm a work snitch and then I get exiled out. So it's really important that we find like a medium to where you say something or not, right? But like with the Me Too movement, it's like there's a problem with it, because it's like, why are you waiting so long before you say something? It's just like, to me, it's like the allegations of sexual assault can ruin a person's career. All right, just by saying this man assaulted me, he's automatically canceled. He's getting fired from his place. He's getting made to let go of his business. He's getting kicked off a team, and that's just an accusation. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like it takes years for this stuff to actually go to court. So I feel like before you actually step up and say, hey, this person of power or this person sexually assaulted me, like, you need to have some absolute proof. Just not, he did it 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you wait 15 years? Like, if he did it, like, I want him to be held accountable. But it's like, you shouldn't have waited 15 years, because to me, it seems like there's no evidence that he did do it, but there's no evidence that he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So if he did it, then say something so it can be handled, because you didn't deserve that. But for the fact that you waited 10, 15, 20 years to finally say something, it just seems like there's something shady with that. And I don't want to take away from the people that have actually experienced it, because it's like, if you've experienced that, then we want to hear what you got to say and deal with the person, because if he's doing it to you, he's doing it to somebody else, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta find a line between, like, yo, you can't do what they just did to Bill Cosby, bro. You can't wait 30 years and then be like, oh, he raped me. And I'm like, why did you wait 35 years to say something if that's what he did back in the 70s? Well, I was scared. And I'm like, well, why are you not scared now? You know what I'm saying? It just kind of seems real shady. It kind of seems like, hey, he did this, but he's paying you to be quiet. Now he doesn't have any money to pay you to be quiet. Now you want to say something. So it's a fine line between, like, either you speak up, right? Or like you get the proof, you speak up, you speak on it, you get it out there. But like, you shouldn't be allowed to say, hey, this person sexually assaulted me and I don't have any proof of that. But now I've just ruined this person's career because of something that I don't have any proof to. And we're going right there with the whole T.I. and Tiny thing. Bro, y'all saying this man sexually assaulted you back in like 2015. It's like, bro, that's about to be 7 years ago. Like, why y'all just not saying something? Why y'all just not releasing text messages? And it's like you went to these parties and you popped these pills, and then all of a sudden you've been sexually assaulted. But I'm like, hold up, you're an adult, you're a grown ass woman. You knew what was going on in this party. Like, why all of a sudden you feel sexually assaulted? Like, you walked into a private room, popped the molly, got banged, now you feel sexually assaulted. Like, what? Like, what? How does that make any sense? So I think there should be like some type of like guidelines to the whole Me Too movement, because if you've been a victim, I feel like you should be able to speak out. But it's like there should be a timeline. Like, you know what? It's been 10 years and I ain't said nothing. Like, let me not. You can't really say nothing now, because it's like it seems like a setup. Like, oh, this person was like, for instance, like this person was a rookie in the NFL and now he's all-star status. Now I'm gonna say something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's more money involved, and it just looks shady when you don't speak up after 10 to 15 years.
That was a lot, Jody.
My bad, bro. My bad.
No. Because you can feel the passionate in your voice, because you really stand by that. And that was a lot, Jody. I can't follow that up, fella. Somebody else follow that up.
I mean, I understand both sides. Like Maria was talking about. I mean, I can somewhat understand what people saying that they're scared to come out or whatever. But then on the flip side, it's like you gotta say something or do something, or you just gonna let it go. And back to what Darnell said, the conversation does have to change when you switch over from a regular associate to a manager. But that whole Me Too movement, especially with the Bill Cosby situation, you know, you had all these people coming out saying, "Oh, he did this to me, he did that to me," and then couple years later into the whole situation, oh, they recanted what they said. So it's like, who you gonna believe? And at the end of the day, this man got sent to jail on some allegations, and you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but he was guilty until proven innocent. So this man sat in jail for a couple of years, and now he out. But yet, the same lady who came out about Emmett Till and say, "Oh, that was a lie," and she's scot free. Emmett Till dead. So it's hard to me, I guess.
And then just to go back to what Jody said, and I mean, I think I'm with Nick. I see the both sides of the fence of it. When a female is sexually assaulted, or even a male when he's sexually assaulted, it's kind of hard for them to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? It may be hard for them to speak on it because of, you know, I don't know. I've never been through that situation, because I really can't come up with something. But all I can think of is that it's hard for them to speak on, especially if it's something that never has happened to them. You know what I'm saying? It could be a confusing thing. I don't know. Somebody would have to had to go through that to say it, but it's hard for some people to just put it out there like that. Then of course, years later, and this is what Jody's talking about, years later, then you bring it up. From Jody's standpoint, what's the point of bringing it up if you didn't bring it up back then? But at the end of the day, they was confused and scared to talk about it, and now that they're not confused and scared to talk about it, they want to fix themselves. So shout out to Danzy. I appreciate you looking at it. Danzy, that's my homegirl right there. So I mean, I can't really speak on it because I've never gone through it. So and I guess that's a real question to anybody that has gone through it. You know, what made you not say something? You know what I'm saying?
I have. I'm sorry. You can go ahead.
Go ahead, Amber.
These celebrity cases that you guys are talking about, I'll be completely honest. Like I've questioned some of those too, and I've wondered, you know, why is it, you know, 20 years later or whatever. And you do wonder sometimes if it is because of their status. Now, I'm not taking any away from those women who were being truthful about it, whatever. I just know with my personal experiences, it's a lot easier in a way to just bottle that up. And you don't want to tell like strangers, especially like, you know, investigators, police officers, possibly news reporters or whatever, you know, however big this gets. You don't want to really relive those situations. And then you also deal with like, oh my gosh, did I do something to let him think that this was okay? Like, was it something that I wasn't aware of? Was I too flirty, or what, did I do this, or and we feel like this weird guilt that we shouldn't feel, and you just don't want to really relive that. And then I think when you realize that it had, like, say that same person has maybe gone on to do another person, then you feel guilt about that, because you're like, oh, I should have said something. Maybe I could have stopped that. So I think that's why sometimes women come out years later. And like I said, I do think there needs to be some adjustments, the guidelines, like he said, to that specific movement. And I don't understand the celebrity ones, because you really just don't know the real story. But we don't know the real story behind anything. I just know, for me, like I said, I didn't say anything about mine until the guy was gone, and I kind of felt like safe because he was gone.
Yeah.
So that's just my input on that. I mean, everybody has their own reasonings behind it, but some of it is questionable. 20, 30 years later, you do wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I wanted to just say to all the women and men who are listening, if you've ever been through this, I believe you. It's important that anyone who's ever gone through that to really know that I believe you. It's very near and dear to my heart when we're talking about sexual abuse and assault, because which is what those women were alleging. The Me Too movement, I think, really took its traction because of social media. But something that victims of rape or whatever assault that they've had is you're usually assaulted by somebody somebody you care about. So most assaults are from those right in your circle, however that looks like. So you have this weird need to protect them over yourself, and especially women who have that motherly instinct. So you in a sense reduce yourself to make sure that person is okay. I don't want to ruin their career. I don't want to, I don't want to get them in trouble. And as Amber said, a lot of times you feel guilty. You wonder, what did you do to deserve it? It's a natural thought that goes through your head. You wonder, what did you do? And the last thing that I will say is, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to say something. It could take you 25 years, 50 years. I don't care if you're on your deathbed. How many times have we heard about stories of people admitting to something on their deathbed? Whatever your reason is, it's okay. If it takes you 20 years to get it, to build up the courage to do that, that's fine. Now, do I think that when there's money involved, that lies can come about? Absolutely. And shame on those people. And those people should be held accountable. So if it comes out that you lied, like that lady on Emmett Till, you should be going to jail. She should have went to jail. I don't care if you're 99, you should be going to jail for lying on somebody. So those are some of my thoughts on all of that. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Awesome. We appreciate that. Telly be quiet, because I know I saw his face when somebody was talking. I'm like, all right, Telly for the cook. So Telly, man, go ahead, cook.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. When this Me Too movement first started, I was looking at it, and if I'm correct, it started because of powerful men using their influence to, coerce women into doing stuff, sexually and stuff like that. And I'm like, I can see that because, when some men that have money, they get the tripping. They thinking, they run the world, they can do anything, nobody can say no to them. And I thought it was a good thing, because women and men, no one should be subjected to doing stuff that they, don't want to, But then what got me with the movement is when they start pulling in people, like people who didn't say anything, and they pulling them in, she's a victim. The most famous one is when they tried to say Monica Lewinsky. And I was like, hold on now. She sucked that dick willingly. So she ain't no victim now. So don't try to pull her in. Mess with my president, because you don't mess with two presidents, and that's Clinton and Obama. Then you got me, man, pissed off, man. But I'm like, she did what she did willingly.
Go off,
man. I know, man. You boy, don't get me started.
Go ahead, man.
But and I'm like, you can't sit up here and tell her she's a victim when she didn't say she's a victim herself. I never understood how you gonna go hard for the so-called victim, and they not even saying it themselves. They saying, no. But you say, yeah. You know, and they saying no, but they saying yeah. I'm like, no, man, she ain't a victim. You know, whatever she did willingly to advance her career, whatever her reasons. You know, she did.
Reasons.
You know, and I mean, and it goes back even with the Ray Rice situation. You know, his wife, which she's married, you know, all these women's groups, she's a victim. She's saying, no, I'm not a victim. She's like, I'm at fault too. This never happens. Oh, she got battered woman syndrome and all this. No, she don't. She understands what she's saying. You know, you pull people in and it's like, okay, now you're weakening your case because now it's looking like you just saying stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's like there are true victims out there. You know, and everybody, and unfortunately, there have been a lot of women who've lied throughout the years, you know, about this situation, which is unfortunate because you don't know, you know, what's true, what's not true. You know, you find out, oh, she lied. You know, you done found out after dude did 5 years in jail. This chick didn't lie. You know, the thing about it is there's no punishment for those people, men or women. You know, there's no punishment for them. They can go online and ruin their lives, you know, and scot-free. And I mean, I was just having a conversation about some women who lie about rape go to jail. I mean, I think they should. I mean, isn't that like when you lie about something and fill out a police report, you didn't file a false police report, false statement, that's against the law. You should go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, so
I agree with that.
The whole Me Too is good for when it works for, you know, what it's supposed to work for. Then it gets bad when they trying to just pull people in. Hell, I'm gonna start a He Too movement. How about that?
You definitely don't need to diminish the Me Too movement, but also y'all don't have to worry about it because Gen Z ain't taking no shit. So millennials and Gen Z, they ain't taking no shit. They telling it all ASAP. They whooping ass. They doing all kind of stuff. So we ain't got to worry about it. I don't think
they recording it. Ain't nothing you can say. It's recorded.
Yeah,
Look, I got you recorded right here. That's what you said to me.
And that's great. If you tell on somebody and you got the recording, you got the text messages, then that is great because that means you have proof. You have concrete evidence to back up your claim. So if this person's career gets messed up because you had concrete evidence, then it's like you were a victim. I applaud you for stepping up, and that's great. But then you have people out here who, you know, oh, hey, he said something and I feel some type of way and I'm ruining his career. Because like let's just take Deshaun Watson, for instance. Like, that's a perfect example. Like, yo, literally you have women out there who have been through real traumas, real things. They got to go to counseling. It has messed them up, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Like, you got real women going through real trauma, right? So it's like for these masseuse, right, who basically are trying to ruin this man's career because he groped your butt. It's like, okay, look, Deshaun, you can't be grabbing chicks' butts. That's not okay, bro. You know better. But it's like this man flying you from California to Miami for a week for massages. Like, come on, bro. Let's read between the lines about that. You got flued out. You knew what was up.
So Jody, before y'all get started, let me go ahead and do my Me Too. Let me do mine first before you get started.
Go ahead, Coach. Cook on.
All right. So real quick, a lot of times, Telly, when you mention about the victim, a lot of people don't know that they're victims sometimes. You know, there are people that are very clever and very manipulating, and so a lot of times they don't realize they've been manipulated. So it happens even with with adults as well. So sometimes you have to take that in consideration. There are a lot of people that are opportunists. And so, yes, you know, they look to their opportunity to get rich quick or get, a story out or whatever the situation is. But to me, this is what it boils down to. It boils down to everybody is a how should I put this? A farmer. Everybody is a farmer, and we're all planting seeds with our character, with our actions. And so if you are planting good seeds, then you will be protected. It would take a lot of people to damage your reputation if you've been consistent for a long period of time. Now, I know there are some people that's out to get other people, but it is difficult to do if you maintain professional attitude and respect to everybody. So if you blur those lines, then you run the risk of somebody coming to get you, right? Like if you flying people in to, as Jody was just saying, if you flying people in to do certain things, you run a risk of dealing with the wrong person. So you have to make sure you realize that, and that'll protect you from any movement. It don't matter what the movement is. If you maintain a professional attitude, behavior, character, communication, all these things with everybody, then you'll be well protected 20, 15, 20 years down the line. But if you don't, then somebody can come up 10 years that maybe they got the courage, or somebody else spoke out and they'd be like, yeah, I had this same situation too. And then now you got all these speaking out against you. And so, a lot of times we just attract based on what we're planning, all the stuff to ourselves. So I don't think that there's any issue as far as the time frame. The time frame should be soon. I agree with a lot of you guys. Like if it happens, you should speak up as soon as you can. But as somebody said, that sometimes you get suppressed, or sometimes you get scared, or you don't want to deal with the ridicule and stuff like that. Because again, people are going to come after you to prove that you was wrong, especially if there's a well-liked person. They going to try to damage your character as much as they can to prove that you're wrong. And nobody should have to. So now you got to deal with two situations. You have to deal with the actual incident that you've been through, and now you got to deal with all this hate and stuff like that from people trying to come at you at your character, right? So now you got all these different things, and some people measure it up and be like, man, I don't know if I can go through that. And, and when you have one person or two, there's strength and unity. So now you have all these people coming together and be like, you know what, they just drawing strength off each other. So you should have, and as far as the accuser, the person that's being accused, you should have done a better job of keeping yourself out of these situations in the first place. So, bottom line, we majority of the time get what we deserve, even if it's late in life.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. I do want to touch on a subject that I actually had a conversation with, and I actually had a conversation with a couple of guys, and we was at work, and one of them got even mad. So to Josh, one of the guys down in Naples, to Josh, the guy in the stock room, you're a bitch, and I don't care how you feel about it.
Man.
It's not Toxic Tuesday, man.
You gotta say that for Tuesday.
We had a conversation about I was just, what I'm saying, because me, I'm on my producer ish 24/7. So I was, I want to hear like when guys talk, what I'm saying? And I was like, well, what are things that you feel that you've been accused of? And Josh, the bitch, said that well, this girl was tripping because, she felt like I took advantage of her. And I'm like, well, why did she feel like that? He was like, well, she came over to smoke and drink. And I was like, okay, well, how much did she smoke and drink? And he was like, well, between the two of us, we passed around like 3 bunts and knocked back a 50 hen dog. So I'm like, so let me get this straight, right? You got this girl high as a mug and halfway drunk, and then y'all had sex. I was like, if you got to do that, that's rape. I don't care how you feel about it. At no point could she say no, and she is nowhere in her right state of mind because she's high and drunk. That's rape. I don't understand how people misconstrue that. Now, yeah, I totally hold her accountable for taking her dumb behind over there and smoking and drinking. But if she can't say yes, she can't say no. So therefore, it's a no-go. Like, nah. So there's a lot of people out there, like, if you out here getting girls drunk and high just so y'all can smash and have sex, that's rape, bro. You're a rapist. I don't understand. There's no more that need to be said. Now, like I said, it does take these females. These females are dumb. right? And you should be scolded because you're putting yourself in a bad position. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no telling what these dudes got. You know what I'm saying? Because if he willing to do that to you, he willing to do it to somebody else. And I'm pretty sure it's a 90% chance he ain't putting on no type of protection. And so,
Jody,
but what's up?
I'm sorry. Just to interrupt you a little bit. Do you have the full story? Like, I understand if you have to feed a woman drugs and alcohol to have sex with her, to intention to have sex with her, or as the only means, then yes, I agree with that. But what's the full story? If
All right,
sometimes women come over to smoke and drink, and sex is the result.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Sex is the result. So
and
hold on, let me finish. So at the same time, you have to understand from both perspectives that if you're smoking and drinking a lot, right, then you have to be able to control yourself, and that goes on both ends. You can't just say, okay, this guy is just as inebriated, but he has more control. This woman is just as inebriated, and she has more control. Who has the control? If they're both drunk, who has the how do you know that she said no, or she just didn't reject at all in that particular situation? Obviously, if somebody says no, I don't want to, it's not what I want to do, that's a completely different situation. But if you have two people smoking and drinking, and all of a sudden they end up sleeping together,
here's the thing, right? And I understand that, right? Like, when you having drunk sex, that's a drunk sex. There's two drunk people that agreed to this, but like
drunk and high.
She was drunk and high, and he supposedly was. He said he was drunk and high, right? But it's like, okay, so if you were so drunk and high as her, then like, why was she so passed out?
He was out in the sink, huh? He was like,
yeah. I felt like you was doing one of these. She was taking one of these.
I agree with that.
It's like,
that's the situation.
It's like, I felt like there was more alcohol and weed in her system than it was yours.
Can we take your feeling out and deal with the facts?
The facts is, he said, you know what I'm saying, she was kind of zooted. And so, you know, I was just like, what's up? What you trying to do? And she just gave him a bland answer, like, mm-hmm. And then she just laid down. And I'm like, well, was she like conscious? Was she up? Like, you just got on top of her and just humped away? And he was like, well, like, she didn't say no. And I'm like, but did she say yeah? I mean, sort of, kind of. And I'm like, hell you mean sort of, kind of? Nigga, there's no sort of, kind of on sex and yes. Either it's a yes and no. So here's my rule. If she's too drunk to get on top, then she's too drunk to have sex. Like, nah, straight up.
Very good rule, I will say.
I like that
rule.
Why is that a good rule?
People are lazy.
Niggas like, what's going on right now?
Why is that a good rule?
Ain't no
because you have enough cognitive skills going on at the moment.
That's definitely yes.
This is coming from a woman. That's
why we got women, guys.
Yeah. I do agree. If someone cannot say yes, it should equal a no. And if somebody comes to you the next day and says, I feel taken advantage of, unfortunately, some rapey shit happened. And it's unfortunate for the fella. So as a man, you should really be aware of that.
Look at Telly.
But at the end of the day,
I can tell.
Jody, who told that girl to smoke 3 blunts and drank a fifth of Andy?
Jody, he probably hooked him up.
Listen, no, I ain't gonna do that. I 100% understand, and if I could see that girl, right, I'd smack her dumb ass. Like, ain't nobody tell you to take your dumb behind over there and do that. So it's like, it comes a part of responsibility to the woman and the man to have that kind of conversation. Just like when women go out, you don't accept drinks from strangers. Why? Because of what they possibly put in those drinks. You know what I'm saying? How they're coming out with these little things. I seen them now. Like, I went to one place and grabbed some food, and like, they're literally out here putting like plastic covers over cups. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you got to take your straw and poke through the plastic cover. And that is a way that they're protecting people from getting drugs. So it's like, how you take all that advice and you take all that knowledge and did not get yourself in that situation. You don't take yourself over to a dude's house and take a fifth of Henny and 3 blunts and then be sitting around looking like, oh, I felt like you tried me last night. Well, like, yeah, stupid. You put yourself in a position to get tried. Now, you didn't deserve that. Absolutely no point should he have done it, but you put yourself in that position for that to happen. So it's like, I feel bad for you getting tried, but like, you're not getting no sympathy because it happened. It's like, no, you shouldn't have took your behind over there. And it's like, you got to hold yourself accountable. Just like girls don't go out with, like how many females are really out here going out and getting lit with dudes that they don't know? Like, you know, that's a no-go. And it's the same way, like, we all been in relationships. We all been married. How many times we don't went out with our ladies and she 3 drinks in, and she talking all that nasty stuff, and you all excited to get home. And as soon as you get home, she in the bed eating dead. You know what I'm saying? And what you do? You go ahead and take that L, or you hop on the hub, you handle your junk, and then you wrap her up in a blanket and you go about your business. You don't hop on top of her and go to humping away, and you know that's wrong. And that's exactly what he did. And so that's why Josh and Nate.
Is this her story?
You act like you got the video. That's what I'm saying. He talking like he watched the video.
No, I get where it's coming from. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, if you drinking too much, you should be grown enough to know what's your limit, and you should be grown enough to know when you need to stop smoking.
What you say, Amber?
What's up,
I was just gonna say, like, I know that, like, I am my first line of defense here, right? Like, it's my responsibility first.
Exactly.
Now, I will say, as a woman, I'm not gonna go to, and hang out with a man that I barely know when there's really no one else around, because we automatically think as women, oh, well, I know what he wants to do, and I don't want to put myself in that position. Right. So I'm my first line of defense. I would hope that the company that I keep around me, if I can't produce a full sentence, if I'm that drunk to where I'm just going, yeah, and you don't really know if I'm saying yes or no, if I can't speak to you in complete sentences, then I would hope that the company I keep would understand that and respect that, and not take that too far.
And that's another thing. If she's drinking with somebody she don't know.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I'm holding her accountable too. It's like you put yourself in that position for that to happen.
Don't tell that man that, Jody. Don't tell that man that.
If you guys have never spoken nasty, that means don't assume she wants to do the nasty with you. I think it's just common. Like, if I've never texted you like, "Oh, I can't wait to see the D," I don't want the D. Like, that's it. It's just very simple. If there's been no exchange of sexual conversation.
Hey, I'm definitely just so y'all know, I'm definitely editing this, and we're gonna use that. Just so you know, all right. I'll get your permission. I'm gonna have to send you a letter to get your permission.
That's funny.
Hey, can we hear Mr. Who Loves You Baby? Because he's been waiting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell me.
Here we go, man.
Mister, let me tell you something.
That's right.
Hey, you got a story for us?
Always, man. I got one, man. But to touch on that, the whole drunkenness and everything, that's been a blurry line since I was a teenager in high school. A lot of brothers I know, man, were sent up because, the female was drunk, he was drunk, they did whatever. Next day, somebody had regrets, and it was like, hey, and he gone. For me, the way I avoided that situation, back when I was getting drunk and all that with females and everything, they'll be kissing on me and I look at them like, do you know what you're doing? And they like, yeah. I'm like, you know where you at? And they were like, yeah.
Hey, you tell me trying to confirm it.
Yeah. And then I asked them the last question. I'm like, do you know what's about to go down? And they say, yeah. Okay, then it's a go. It's a go because you can answer those 3 questions. We good. Yeah. But if you can't, guess what? We finna go to sleep.
Yeah.
We're gonna wake up at 2 in the morning because normally that's what happens. You sleep the drunk off, we wake up at 2 in the morning. Bam. I asked those 3 questions. Boom, we getting it in. And, I ain't never look, I've always been scared. I always been scared of putting myself in that position. For a female to say, you know what, Telly, man, he did some stuff to me that I didn't want, and I'm like, I ain't got no lawyer money. The public defender gonna give me 15 years. And it's like what Jody said, to touch on him, like you got to hold the girls responsible and stuff like that. Let me tell you something, man. Some dude call you up 2, 3 in the morning and say, come over. Let's
You already
hang
know
out.
what he's trying to do.
Right. You know, he ain't calling you over to play Monopoly.
Or read the Bible.
You know, so
Bible wants you to read the Bible.
Stop it.
Let me be real with you, because
read no Bible.
you know this whole Netflix and chill stuff. You know, I invented that. Let me tell you that. But it's back in the day when we had VCR. So I used to say, let's come over and watch a movie. That's what I used to say. You want to come over and watch a movie?
Hey, tell me what you say. Blockbuster and Bum Roaster. That's what you used to do.
Blockbuster, home video, whatever. Let's go watch a movie. To this day, I ain't never made it through a whole movie. You know what I'm saying? But you know when I say, come over and let's watch a movie.
That's when y'all go to sleep. The reason you ain't made it through the whole movie because y'all end up sleep, right?
Yeah, no. We end up entangled in
2 in the morning.
You know, but you know, it's like that. But you know, the most famous case that's still to this day is the Mike Tyson case. You know, he invited that chick over to his hotel 2 in the morning. She came over. What you think Mike wanted to do? Right. He wasn't going to discuss his boxing career. It's 2 in the morning in a hotel room. You come over. Now it's he raped me. Now what got me was she said Mike Tyson punched me in the face. The bitch competed in a beauty pageant the next day, and I'm like, wait a minute. Mike Tyson punched you in the face? The same Mike Tyson that was knocking people out within a minute? And you was able to compete in a beauty pageant next day?
Hold on.
You could have used the jab.
Did you win?
Hey, Telly. Nah, let Jimbo tell him Mike ain't got no one here to quit us. So
I know, but to hit a female, Mike Tyson, right. A female, and she ain't got, and she was not, forget the swollenness, she wasn't in coma. She was able to go next day, and I'm like, man, they got Mike. But it's like what Coach said, you put yourself in these situations. You got to know who you're dealing with, man. You know, you can't keep inviting people over at 2, 3 in the morning. There's gonna be some ramifications. That's why you need the consent form. Initial here, sign here, man. X right here because man, you can get caught up, man, quickly. Kobe, you know, even if they lying.
This one right here.
Y'all see what she said?
My bad, B.
No, you good, bro.
That one right there.
That one right there. Anyone coming over to any spot at 2 a.m. or later, that's a booty call. Ain't nothing open but legs and 7-Eleven at those hours. And she is right.
Listen, here's the thing though, right? Like, why you coming over at 2? Like, why you can't come over at like 9 so we could be done by like 11 so I could be
grown now, Jody.
Like, I don't understand what this 2 o'clock business is.
We not in our 20s no more, Jody.
We not in our 20s no more. Aunt trying to go to sleep, baby girl. You need to get here by 9.
But he said you called her over there at 2. That's when the phone call came through.
This ain't You ain't get no. You get a call from me at 2 o'clock. It's an emergency. Ain't nobody at 2 o'clock.
That is the emergency. That is the emergency. You got to get yourself taken. But let me tell you, I know women know that you want what you want. Now, if a woman want to get down, you're calling her over. She come over by herself. Now, she come over with a friend. You already know you ain't getting none because
that's because Jody was asleep, babe.
You know,
thank you.
She got a friend.
Don't do me like that.
And if she don't mention she coming with a friend and she just pop up with a friend, you ain't getting none. Your plans are over with.
Hold on now, because in the words of Mr. Telly Tavis, I don't give a damn how cool we are. Don't you bring nobody else to my house.
Hey man, it is true.
What you mean it's a money thing?
Yeah, what you talking about, sis?
It's a money thing. But like, listen, I get what you're saying because like I put it right there. Like, what's up? What you trying to come do? You know what I'm saying? And for me, you know, if you're gonna get something when you see the attire of the young lady that came over, Like if she come over and them some sweatpants, something easily accessible to take off, or a sundress, because woo, Lord knows, love a sundress,
Hey,
right?
Nick, look
It's
at
like
Coach, Nick. Look at Coach.
it's like you know what's up, but like, bro, if she come over in some sneaks and some jeans, I'm starting to feel like, oh, what you trying to do? Because obviously we ain't on the same page.
I'll see you Thursday for your appointment, sir.
Yeah, because not all that stuff y'all talked about on Impact yesterday. Thursday. That's all thrown out the window.
It's
Now,
not,
you trying to get
back.
back.
I say you gotta affirmate positivity, right? So it's like that's what I'm doing, but I'm being real. Like if you come to my house, especially if she come over in a little booty shorts and a little hoodie, you know what I'm saying, that just cover up the booty shorts. Oh yeah, you know it's about to go down. And I had one chick one time show up, bro. She showed up in a bonnet. I was like, we about to get down now, because she showed up with her hair already wrapped up. And I was like, yes, you know that's some of the best coochie you ever had. That bonnet stuff.
We about to mute.
Oh my God,
Jody, because we don't veered off of the harassment conversation to now people coming up in the middle of the night. What we doing?
I don't know, man. Jody, I'm shocked you ain't been locked up yet, man. I mean, geez, man.
Jeez, I tell you, I have. The cop pulled me over and he asked me where I was going. I said to your girl house.
Wow.
Oh my God,
wow.
That sounds like something. Man, listen, man, we gotta wrap up. Any final thoughts, please? Anybody with the final thought? We gotta wrap up, man. We gotta wrap up.
Man, have a clear understanding between you and your partner. Don't put yourself in positions, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, it's a thin line between consensual and rape, and just talk to your partner, talk to your peoples. And one thing about this, fellas, for all the fellas out there, like we all know at least one person that we know is like, hey, that nigga a little rapey. Like we need to do better at checking that. Okay, we need to do better at talking to our fellow man. But like, hey, bro, you need to chill out with that, because that's not okay. We need to be better at that, because every man in here knows a brother that's a little rapey. So check. Make sure you check that.
He getting it.
Any final thoughts for you, Mr. Who Loves You, baby?
Man, always ask those 3 questions, man. Keep yourself covered, because you don't want to be out here. Like I said, I'm surprised Jody ain't been locked up. So he leave himself out. He leave himself wide open. I don't care what a chick come over in.
Once you get rich, you're gonna become a target. I just want you to know that.
You know, I'm just saying, chick can come over in anything.
Jody,
don't mean she ready to get down till you ask those questions.
Jody, you get locked up, come holler at me. I got you, bro.
Man, you ain't gonna be able to save him from this.
I ain't gonna get locked up, baby. Oh, if you ain't trying to get on top, you need to bounce. Peace. I'll holler at you.
Coach A, what you got, Coach?
That, you know what? I'm gonna give Jody credit for that last comment. That is a good what you call it, a sign or whatnot, that if the girl is on top, then you know that's a definite yes. So I do agree with that. But for the most part, I don't even want to say treat people how you want to be treated, because some people want to be treated creepily. So that don't even work. That don't even work anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to realize what you're planting in the world, the seeds that you're sowing. If you treat everybody with love and respect, then you don't have to worry about it. That's what's going to come back to you. But if you out there suspect and you treating people negative in any way, abusive or whatnot, then it's going to come back to you one way or another. And we don't have the right to decide when it comes back. We can't say, hey, it's been 20 years. This shouldn't come back and haunt me. Unfortunately, you planted that seed and it just grew at this time. So you have to realize that. So make sure you're conscious of how you interacting with everybody in your life.
Nick.
Man, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it was a good conversation. Don't be out there raping people. Don't be out there touching people.
Don't be out there touching
They
people.
say no, they say no. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
And even foremost, just be up for what you want from the person. They'll let you know right then and there.
Miss Amber, you got any lasting words for us?
No, I mean, I just, like I said earlier, you know, the very beginning of the conversation with the playfulness and stuff, you know, have fun, have a fun life, know the boundaries, know the rules, know yourself, respect other people. And you know, that's about it.
Miss Francis?
Yes, parents. Stay on your kids, educate them as much as possible. And at work, keep it professional at all times, and you can avoid a lot of stuff on both ends. And yeah, that's about it for me.
All right, I think I agree with Nick. What Nick said, don't be out here raping people, man. If Sasha at your job don't want her booty touched, don't touch her booty, dog. If young Bradley don't want his leg touched, like Telly got his leg touched, don't be touching young Bradley leg. Just be upfront with people. Let's have professional conversations in the workplace. Let's have adult conversations. Let's not get into all that stuff, getting yourselves locked up and in trouble. That's what I got, man. So
let's like, subscribe, comment, and share.
That
let's
was
do all
that. That's just If y'all want to do anything, just like, comment, subscribe, and share. So we finna run off with the podcast. Let's start off with Jody, bro. Shout him out.
Let's thank the group again for being on the show. We definitely appreciate y'all.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, to the ladies that jumped on the show this morning, Amber and Francis. Hey man, we appreciate y'all big time for jumping on and having this discussion with us. Got the claps in the back. And we enjoy having the conversation with y'all. Y'all are more happy and welcome to come back at any time y'all want to join the show. Tell all your friends and family to like, subscribe, and share. That's all we ask.
And our people who chimed in with the comments and stuff.
Yeah, man, we had a lot of people chime in with the comments. We had Chris, who's here every week, a faithful family member.
Hey, I have to give out 2 more shout outs to Jody, 2 best friends. Man, last Tuesday, boy, they was doing their job.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
They had me feeling like a comedian in the comments.
I'm telling you, y'all was live on
Tuesday.
And we try. Anybody out there making 6 figures, baby, you can come touch my leg.
We knew it. We knew he couldn't hold off for too long.
But no, we appreciate everybody that jumped in the comments today, showing us some love and being a part of the conversation. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. But Jody, go ahead, run off, man. What we got on Tuesday?
Hey, come holler at us. Toxic Tuesday. We got your favorite uncle, Mr. Telly, and you got your no filters cousin, your boy Jody. Come holler at us on Toxic Tuesday, man. We are actually doing, Brandon, you're gonna be proud. We are doing the salon versus barbershop talk this week, and that was Brandon's idea. And I got three ladies out there doing their thing. I got a nail tech, I got a hairstylist, and I got somebody doing photos. And me, Telly, and my boy Marjan, and we're gonna hop on in. We're gonna talk about what we talk about in the barbershop and what y'all be talking about in the nail salon. You would be surprised the things we talk about in the barbershop, you know. So come holler at us 8:30 on Tuesday. Holler at us for Toxic Tuesday.
And hopefully they be on time.
Yeah,
we should
be on time this time.
We will be on time this time.
Y'all check out Toxic Tuesday.
And make sure they come and have you put their information up for their barbershops or whatever their business is. So we.
Oh yeah, I got them sending the flyer. We're gonna talk about that after this. I got them sending the flyers and everything. We're gonna get it out of that.
So on Thursdays, everybody just remind everybody on Thursdays we got the boxing podcast, the Final Round Boxing podcast. So everything boxing on Thursdays at 8:00. We also got Impact with Coach A. You want to shout that out, Coach?
Yes, sir. We got Impact 7:00 on Thursday nights. Jody got a counseling session last time. So it's all about self-improvement. It's all about self-improvement. I told him he needed to stay away from there because then it's gonna mess up his Toxic Tuesday. He ain't gonna be as toxic if you keep coming on.
Exactly. So just play your shows out. Then of course we got the family barbecue. We're coming out next week. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be doing some self-reflection. We're gonna let y'all get to know us a little bit personally next week, and we want to know some of our viewers a little bit personally as well. So y'all drop by with us next week, and we can make that happen. So,
Brandon, real quick, around that self-reflection, just to give somebody some context, what we're looking at, like some of the things that we should improve in our lives, or
some of the things we should improve in our life. What's the goals in our life? Maybe even some of the traumatic things we've gone through that we might need to talk about. It's everybody that's a part of Family Talk that's going to get a little bit personal. Let's dig a little bit deep, and y'all get to know who y'all watching every Saturday and Tuesday and Thursday. And we want to know the family members that's watching too. So if anybody want to come on and do some self-reflection of ourselves in front of everybody, you're more than welcome to join us. But that's what's popping with Family Talk next week on Saturday. All right. I think we good. So hey, no problem. With that being said,
you guys have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Amber.
All right. See ya.
All right, man. It's your boy B.
Coach A.
And Nick.
It's your boy Mr. No Means No Jody.
Telly Talavis, Mr. Who Loves You, Baby.
All right, man.
And I guess Amber and Francis.
Amber and Francis. We see y'all next week.
They wasn't worried about me last year when the cashier sent me to my car when I came short. Now I got the game torn. They either hate it or love it. Slim chances on advances, I just balanced the budget. Fuck it, free my niggas on my Harriet Tubman. They said I'd never be the greatest, that's a scary assumption. But now I'm buzzing like the last shot. Got these lame tired old niggas about to pass out.